Hello everybody, this is Shane Lee from Shane Lee Ministries. I want to discuss the Quran versus the Bible. Now, I've read both books, and I see there are similarities but also differences. Like, Ishmael was the one Abraham brought up to the temple, but it wasn't through Ishmael's line that the Messiah would come. It was through Isaac's line. That's why in the Bible the Messiah came through Isaac. Now, even the Muslims agree that Abraham had two sons, one by the bondwoman, one by the free. Yet at the same time, the Messiah, who was to save all from their sins, came through the Jewish line and not the Muslim line, or the line of Ishmael. Does this mean that the Ishmaelites are not entitled to salvation through Jesus Christ? No, they are entitled to salvation through Jesus Christ. And even though they call him a prophet, that's fine too. But if Jesus is a prophet, you cannot replace a prophet with another prophet who teaches something differently. Now, Jesus taught equality with men and women. He even spoke to a Samaritan woman, which in his time was a taboo. He used her to bring the men of Samaria to him. He treated her like an apostle, a sent one. Jesus and the angels sent the women to the men. The women were the apostles to the apostles. Now, this is because the men feared going to the tomb, because they were the ones that were under direct threat that they could remove the stone. They were the ones strong enough. This is why the women went to the tomb and were able to go to the tomb, because they couldn't roll the stone away. But Jesus used this to show that women, through the sin in Eden, were forgiven and reconciled back to God. Jesus died for the reconciliation of men and women to God, not men only. Now, a Muslim man can marry a non-Muslim woman, but a non-Muslim man can't marry a Muslim woman. That's a double standard. That means that if a man can convert a woman to Islam, it's okay. But a woman can't convert a man to Islam, because most men don't submit to women. That's why it's not allowed. The woman has to submit to the man. Yet if the woman rebels from Islam, once she becomes a Muslim, she can be beaten, she can be stoned, she can be killed, she can be murdered by her own family if she disagrees with Islam. The women have it rougher than the men. The men have the freedom to convert even non-Muslims, even to marry. That's what you call a double standard. Because if a man can convert a woman, why can't a woman convert a man? You know, this is where people put their own agendas and their own ideas into religion. This makes it unequal. This makes it false. This makes it untrue. Now, if I can't debate with you my religion versus your religion, you must think your religion is false. And you see it. But you don't want to admit to it. You want to stay in it whether it's true or not. That makes it a false religion, a half-true religion. It ain't that there ain't no truths in the Muslim religion. There is only one God, the eternal Spirit of life. But there is one Son of God, Jesus Christ, who is the firstborn of every creature. Before God created the world, He created Jesus Christ. Before God created life, Jesus existed before everything. And He is the mother and father of us all. Yet, the Muslims deny Jesus' sovereignty as the first begotten of the Father, as the true Son of God. Now, the only other human being who was called the Son of God was Adam. And Adam was made as androgynous, which even the Muslim religion teaches. And the woman was taken out of the man. Well, Adam was made in the image of Jesus Christ. Else how can he be made in the image of God? And that's the whole point. The image of God is androgynous, or male and female in one body, and that's what even the Muslims deny today. Now the first begotten, the only begotten of the Father, through Him, God created everything that exists. Now you might want to believe in evolution. Okay, let's say life did evolve. Well, what formed the first cell? How did the bacteria get together? What formed the bacteria? Did it just appear out of thin air? If it did just appear out of thin air, what formed the membrane? And that's the whole point. Something had to start the cycle. Even if you find life on other planets, it still don't explain how it originated. Like bacteria or whatever. It's just suddenly there. When it might not have been there before. That suggests something created the life versus the life was evolved. Now how can a bacteria change from bacteria to a single cell organism to a bacteria behaves like a bacteria? And when it reproduces, it only reproduces other bacteria. So that's the whole point. How did it evolve? How did life evolve from one stage to another? There are even asexual cells that simply divide. And that's the whole point. Now, if you are Muslim and we're in a debate, your religion teaches to kill. My religion teaches to debate with respect to the other religion, but that only one religion is in the truth. And that's the religion that stands up when you compare it to all of life, all of creation. Not the one that assumes things. Now, no matter how close to the truth the Islamic religion may be, it's not the truth. And I don't say that just because I'm a Christian. I say this because I studied in the Muslim religion. I read the Quran. And I read the Bible. You can't read the Quran and the Bible and say they were written by the same person with the same ideas. Muhammad started his own religion in his own name, which Jesus Christ warned. He said, if another come in his own name, him you will receive. In the Gospel of St. John. Muhammad came in his own name and established a religion. And that's the whole point. Now, can I pray for the Muslim? Yeah, I can pray for the Muslim. I'm supposed to. But if the Muslim starts making war with me, what should I do? Just sit back and let him make war with me? No, I should defend myself. And that's the whole point. Now, if the Muslims are peaceful, I'm peaceful. But the Muslim will attack me before I will attack them. And that's the whole point. Now, we as Christians, we're not to hate the Muslims, we're to pray for the Muslims. We're to love them, but we're to hate even our own sin nature.